Here we are, Rob, yet again.
Yet again. I'm in front of the jungle. I've just had my dinner.
Yeah, you flew that down, didn't you? I've had an haircut.
Yeah,
look at this. Look at this.
Yeah, it looks good, Joe. Looks
Amy
good. What a
did
hairline. Beautiful hairline.
Beautiful hair, isn't it? Beautiful hair.
Yeah.
Thick hair. Good head of hair.
Yeah.
Got myself a cup of tea today, no beer.
No, so I think it's a little bit early to have a beer. I haven't got a beer.
What have you been up to, Rob? Because I am a builder today. I've
are
got
you?
a day off. Yeah,
Right.
I've got a day off. I've been on the whacker plate.
Okay.
Laying a sub base. Patio's
they
going
were days.
down. I'm filling my time very constructively.
I did a bit of work in the garden the other day, putting some borders down, big, almost like railway sleepers, but a little bit smaller than sleepers. And it meant digging out the original board that was concrete. I tell you what, after that, fair play to the labourers and people who are doing groundwork. Fair play to them.
We worked out because we put 5 tons of stuff back in, done it all by hand, and so you must have taken a bit more out because obviously it expands the ground, doesn't it, when you take it out? So
yeah,
take 5 tons out, put 5 tons back in, or 6 tons.
Oh.
Good though, isn't it? I feel fit as a fiddle now.
I tell you what, it keeps you fit. Yeah, it keeps you fit.
So what about fishing? Come on, because we've got a great guest today.
We've got a fantastic guest. Yeah, we've got a fantastic. And to be fair, a few people have asked for this guest as well.
Yeah. And
I think he's in a bit of demand. So
what about the Nathan one? What were we saying about the Nathan one? That was good, that wasn't it?
I think it was a really balanced affair. Real nice balanced little video. We got across maybe his misdemeanors of the past, and then obviously maybe come across as a nice guy that just who's a bit opinionated.
It was like a heel turn, wasn't it? I reckon. Heel turn for.
Yeah.
So obviously we keep getting loads of comments about the Rob Hughes one.
Mm-hmm.
People seem to enjoy that someone had like a real good point of view on that.
Yeah.
You've been trying to get in touch with Jamie Cook, haven't you?
Yeah, well, there's a couple of people who from the Angling Trust who I think would be able to come on and put their point across, and I think it's probably perfect time at the minute for them to just
pop on.
Just pop on, have a chat with us.
Because I'd love to chat with Jamie Cook just to see how close or how far away, or I know he's a busy man at the minute, CEO of the Angling Trust, but it'd be nice just to get a few words with him. It
would. I tell you what, we're seeing obviously some really positive stuff that they're putting out social media wise. Real positive stuff. I'm loving that. Mm-hmm. They're letting us know as much as they can what's going on. I'd just love to know the process, just a little bit more of the process behind the scenes of what they're having to go through and the work they're having to put in. Because obviously we're not seeing everything that they're doing behind the scenes, the meetings they're having, the chats they're having, who's being involved in all these little decisions. So it'd be nice just to see
what they're up to.
Yeah, what they're up to and how much work's going into it.
It would be good because obviously that kind of political thing, it's not for everyone, but I do think people are genuinely interested in the process. So if we can do that, everybody get onto the Angling Trust and tell them that we want to speak to them.
Yeah, do that. Get onto Angling Trust and tell them, obviously, Rob and Joe will have a chat with you. But also, the last email that he sent out, the last bit of information he sent out, it was all about getting onto your local MP. And there was actually a link in the last piece of the last statement he sent out to your local MP. Just write a few lines, just say, I'd love to get out fishing. It's great because blah, 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 whatever you think you want to put. And that'll just put a little bit of extra pressure on, and it'll just probably filter through that, there's loads of people out there that want to go fishing. Let's try and get these guys out there fishing.
This is a different point, and I've made a real point of not going out like you have. But because I've been doing this patio, I needed some stuff from B&Q today. And obviously I've seen the horror stories of the queues and all that getting in. So I thought I'll get there early. I got there at 9 o'clock this morning, which I think they opened at 9. No, I was front of the queue. There was 5 people behind me, and hats off to them. The process and how they'd worked it out to keep everybody safe was fantastic. Yeah. And I know a lot of fishing shops are already trying to get places, steps put in place, aren't they, to keep us safe?
I think it'll be shops that have got those rules in place. They're the ones that will be allowed open. I don't think you're going to be allowed to operate if you've not got those cautions in place.
Honestly, Robert, I know obviously it's nothing to do with fishing, but I was really impressed.
Yeah, but Joe, a lot of people have moaned about obviously some shops being open and people maybe starting to go. Sooner or later,
people have got to start spending money.
We will have to start going back to not a normal life, but as normal as we can get it. And sooner or later, we'll have to do this. And this is obviously the start of just making baby steps towards that. So
I went in with a mask on and my gloves on.
Did you put the mask on?
Yeah, I put the mask on and the gloves.
Yeah.
Why not?
Yeah, why not?
I've got them, so why not
Yeah.
use them? I feel like it's my responsibility to do that.
Let me just explain this. When it first happened, we were in Spain fishing the Iberian Masters, and there was a few Italian blokes all fishing the competition at the same time, and they had to actually go home a day early from the competition
because of what was going on,
to get into Italy before it got locked down, because otherwise they wouldn't have got back into Italy. And I messaged one of the chaps a couple of days later who'd have to go back. Not really spoke to this chap a lot in the past, but this shows you the power of fishing and the power of maybe social media, WhatsApp, or how instantly we can get in touch with people. But really, the power of fishing, because his name is Christian, really nice chap, and he said it is very bad here. It's very bad here. You need to stop taking precautions. This is before the UK had big problems. And then maybe a week later, I said, we're having problems here now. How's it there? And he said, this is terrible. It's terrible in Italy. People are dying. It's terrible. It's terrible. And then, fair play to him, he said to me, have you got masks and things like that? I said, no. And I think there's a shortage of masks. And my wife's a midwife. She might need the masks. But there's a shortage of masks and all this PPE. He said, I will send you a box of masks from Italy. There's a guy who's in trouble himself, and he might run out of masks himself. But he said, I'll send you a box of masks. And fair play. Look, I've not been walking around with a mask on.
No.
But he's not to know that, and I wasn't.
I think Boris suggested yesterday on his press release, didn't he, that they are going to come in useful. So get the mask on. Yeah. I think if you're going to go to, especially somewhere like B&Q, there's a lot of people, isn't there?
Yeah, there's a lot of people. Yeah.
And it might be that who knows?
Yeah.
So any fishing related stuff happening in your end?
No, there isn't. I spoke to a few people, obviously fishing related stuff, but I'll tell you what, it's really slowing down.
Quiet, isn't it?
Chat it's really getting just odd little bits and bobs ready for when we can get out. And I'll tell you what I'm thinking of doing when I get out. I'm thinking, because I don't think we'll be going match fishing for a long time.
I think we should chat with our guest.
Do you think so?
Yeah, because I reckon he's got some input for this as well.
Okay.
He'll be here in a minute anyway, won't he?
Right.
So
I've ordered a few bits of kit.
Have you?
Because, like I say, I don't think match fishing is going to happen.
No.
But I've ordered a few bits of kit to help me on the journey of maybe what. Because
I'm excited. I'm excited.
As a match angler, because you're going through Saturday, Sunday match, maybe Wednesday a match, and you don't get a chance to do any other style of fishing really. It'd be nice just to use this time and go and do some other bits and bobs. And
actually enjoy being out in the countryside.
I've realised, because we're surrounded by loads of fields and loads of countryside where we are. And I've realised that just being out on a nice day is absolutely fantastic.
Everything, isn't it?
Obviously, it's even better if you've got some rods out, or you're sitting in the water or you're fishing. But
it's good for you, isn't it?
It is good for you. I don't really want to go fishing and just catch a load of fish just for the sake of it. I'm not really into that. But I think a session, maybe, if I can go and have a pleasure session, maybe even at a commercial, there's a couple of you can still have a laugh.
Have a bit of banter. Have a bit of banter. Be sensible about it, and then have a laugh. When do you think then? Because obviously the other day we mentioned that things seem to be like gathering a bit of momentum.
Yeah, I think there's more and more people out on the roads now. More and more people moving around. More and more businesses opening.
Yeah, people are spending a few bob again.
People are spending a few bob, and it looks like, all being well, the cases and the problems, the deaths are coming down a little bit.
Yeah.
So I think we might be out fishing middle of May. I think we'll be out fishing.
So happy if we are.
2 weeks time. I do. Definitely do.
I must admit, the last few weeks, it's kept me sane really, because with work, doing this, obviously, it's a bit, I know it's a great thing for all the viewers, but it's a bit selfish as well, because we get to have a catch up and a chat through this. But I'll tell you what, my work and a half kept me going the last few weeks. Having something to focus on, and we're getting loads of product like bits coming through as well, and it's been brilliant. That has. Yeah.
You need something just to keep you going. I think something to keep you going.
Yeah.
I was going to say, last night we went out and clapped the NHS, as I think everyone's doing.
Yeah. Do you have the pots and pans?
Well, Monty's the pot and pan guy. My 3-year-old, So Monty's the pot and pan guy, and he's he couldn't hack the pace. He fell asleep at 7:30, so we had to get him to bed. He's using the pond, but it takes a run up with a wooden spoon. Takes a run up. She's the pan. But my next door neighbour, nice old bloke, he says to me, "Where you been fishing? What you been doing?" I said, "We can't go fishing." He said, "Can't go fishing?" I thought, "Oh, that's strange." And there's quite a few people that find it strange that we can't go fishing because obviously it's seen as a very isolating sort of sport.
My mum said exactly the same last week when I was speaking to her. She said, "Oh, how come you're not fishing at the minute?" I'm like, "Well, can't." And she's like, "Well, surely that's like the most logical thing that you could still do, but obviously we know the reasons why you can't."
Yeah, of course. But this is why I think in this first wave of allowances, with the government, I think we'll get it because public perception is fishing is a very solitary thing to do, and they might even think, "Well, why? I thought they were anyway. I thought they were going fishing anyway. Let them do it."
Yeah.
I'm hoping it's going to be that sort of situation.
Be nice, wouldn't it? Be nice to get out.
Yeah, it would be nice to get out. Just quickly before the guest comes on, we're definitely on the podcasts. Someone's asked us how they deal with podcasts because they're not technically advanced.
And by podcast, you mean iTunes,
Google Podcasts. Google Podcasts.
Yeah.
If you've got an iPhone, you'll have a podcast app on your phone. You click on that podcast app, you type in "fish on," and we'll pop up there.
Yeah.
So it's easy as that. Yeah. And it's the same with Google, isn't it? You're a Google man.
I'm Google man.
You just go on the Google Podcasts on their app, type it in, and then obviously type "fish on" in. It'll just pop up. Whack your headphones in, or you play it through your car stereo.
Right. This is Google Podcasts, and if I just put in. This is a very technical way of showing you. Yeah. Fish on. Look, there we are. Fish on with Rob Wootton and Joe.
Are we at the top on that? Are we at the top?
No, we're about third down.
Right.
There we are. I'm already subscribed. All the episodes are on there. Ready to download to your phone. We're so advanced, Rob.
So advanced. There's more to come as well.
I can't wait for the next stage to reveal everyone the next stage. For a number of reasons.
Yeah, it'd be good. It'd be good.
Where is it?
I don't know where the guest is.
Don't know where. Oh my God, that was the best.
Oh, brilliant. I tell you what, I need that.
You all right?
I'm sound, boys. How are you?
I need that.
Absolutely melting.
I've got a lockdown collection on the go at the minute.
Have you?
Lockdown locks.
Yeah, I'm gonna vary it up and show you a few of my different ones.
Right. Your outfits, because obviously we've seen this quite a bit on social media, Matthew. Your lovely outfits for these kind of things.
Yeah, it's just to see. It's just like I think I've got an underlying cross-dressing issue in general.
Yeah,
because every time I've done it, I've really enjoyed it. So I definitely think there's something weird going on.
Mm. Oh, there's definitely something weird going on with you. Definitely.
Yeah.
There has always been something weird with you.
Yeah.
100%. Now,
but you're at peace with it, aren't you, Matt? So it doesn't matter.
Oh, mate. You've got to be yourself, haven't you?
You've got to be yourself. Now, the only thing that's a little bit worrying is my lads, the front cover of Match Fishing with you on from Serbia.
Yeah.
My lads, still to this day, no matter how many times I've told them it's not me.
Really?
Think it's me, yeah.
Flipping heck, I only popped round that once as well.
I know. And it was a long time ago, weren't it?
He still recognises me though.
Yeah, he still recognises you.
Wow.
What have you been doing, Matt? Have you been doing loads of work?
Been doing a little bit, mate. Mainly just tying hooks and rigs 24/7. That's it, really.
No, don't.
Have you actually been doing some prep?
I tell you what I've done. My lockdown routine, just to keep me nice and sane, has been do a proper day's work, like get up 8:30 till 5, try and just stick at a routine.
Yeah.
But then like evenings and weekends, I've had some proper prep time, which has been quite nice because you know what it's like when you're dashing all over the country and that, you sometimes come to go fishing and think, wish I had more stuff done or right stuff done. So I've just used weekends and evenings
to do a bit.
First bit of proper prep I've done in years, to be honest.
Have you heard this?
Honestly,
first bit of prep he's done in years. The most prepared man on the bank.
Yeah, look.
Hey, what's going off here?
I'm going to see if I can get this on my head.
What's that?
This is what Sally wears on her head.
Oh, yeah.
To add a bit of hair to her. So I'm going to see if I can get it on.
Oh, that was beautiful.
You're wearing your wig.
You look like a footballer.
What, with a quiff? I
Yeah.
don't think it's going to stay on.
Yeah, you look like, what's that lad from Aston Villa?
Grealish.
Yeah, you look a bit like Jack Grealish.
I like it. I like it.
Yeah, I
There's
like
more hair.
it.
I could be a cross-dresser, Matt, like you.
Well, hey, mate, I've got some great clubs we could go to.
The Bazaar Bar. Oh, that's beautiful.
Look at that.
That is beautiful, isn't it?
I
That
like
is beautiful.
it.
Matt, that's how I thought my hair was going to go.
That's the
When I was
thumbnail,
young,
isn't it, for the video? That is.
I thought
Bang
that's how
on.
my hair was going to go.
Mine might if I let it grow.
I didn't realise that you have not got a lot of hair on that front end, have you?
No, on that front bit, just here, look. I don't know what's happened there.
Looks like you've had a fight with a lawnmower and lost.
No, what happened was we got the shaver out, through my hair, and we cut it, and I thought, look a bit like an idiot there. And then I just thought, let's just go the whole hog. My dad's got no hair. If it is my real dad, my dad's got no hair. So I just thought,
could be problems here, Rob.
It's going to happen, isn't it?
Yeah, look, hey,
embrace it.
The beard helps, Matt. The beard helps.
How's your two's prep gone in terms of prep?
Hey, I did a bit yesterday. I did a bit, look. Yeah.
Is the old box tops up?
Look, I'm on to 6 pins now.
Wow.
Flipping heck, that's all you need, isn't it?
I reckon so.
What about you, Rob? Have you done much?
I've spooled a reel up.
Just one?
Yeah, and I've tied a tray of rigs. But I say a tray, 3/4 of a tray. But that, I couldn't think of another rig to tie. That is all my rigs.
Wicked. I've
got everything. You know how I fish. I've got rigs. I've got me float that does me for Evesham Island, the Soar, the Trent. I've got a float that does me for all that sort of fishing.
Like it.
And then I've got...
They've all got names. They're a bit like my rigs, aren't they?
Yeah, they've all got names, yeah. So
here's a rig that you like.
I just try and keep so simple and do as little prep as possible. Now, I haven't tied a single hook.
No, I haven't yet.
Haven't you?
Oh, the old Stainy rig.
The old Stainy rig. I've still got him, look.
No.
And look.
What is it? Oh, a Magic, is it?
Magic 6. Chop the bristle down.
I've got a load of them with chopped down bristle.
And because I used to paint them black, then obviously I wanted rid of the black. So I used to sand them down. If you notice, the ends at like a point.
Yeah.
So I could repaint it. And over the years, it's just got thinner and thinner. It's very uneven, that bristle.
Yeah, but don't you find when a float's a bit old and rough and ready,
fishes well.
Just goes in nice, doesn't it? Do you know what I mean?
I looked at Dan Webb's rigs.
Too new, aren't they? Too perfect.
I looked at Dan Webb's rigs a couple of months ago. His rigs were absolutely pristine. And you know what? What a faff. Totally different to how we are. He's got, I mean, you're a prep man, Matt, but you're still willing to be a bit of a leaguer and sort yourself out with you can get on if you haven't got the right rig.
Oh, yeah.
Dan I think he had for every single rig in his box, so every single float.
Yeah.
He had 2 red bristles, at least 2 red bristles, a yellow bristle and a black bristle.
No.
And I said, why have you got all those different colours? He said, well, obviously a different water. I said, don't you just use a marker pen to mark it off? I said, no, but what happens then when you need to scrape it off? I said, well, you just repaint the bristle, which is what normal people do, I think. He said, no, because that'll ruin the bristle. That's the float ruined. So he'll chuck the float in. He couldn't do that.
Intense.
That is
Oh, Rob, you'll appreciate this. When I was younger, right, it was my first ever England trial. Should have got a picture out. I'll try and get you one to put up on video. And we were at Makins Lake. We had 2 trials back then. You had to get through the first one, which were like 30 people, and then he'd pick 10 to go back for another one. And on this first trial, I was practicing one day for it, and my dad was sat behind me, and he went, oh, I'm just going to leave you for a minute, and he disappeared. And this old fella come and sat behind me, and he was like, all right, young gun, you're catching, and I was catching a few. I got a Trabuco Ultimate 1 on.
Oh, they were the ones, weren't they? They were the float.
Catching a few roach and that, but I couldn't see it properly, fishing like 11 metres, or just random striking, still catching a few. And he says, you could do a thicker tip on that float, you know. And I was like, all right, who's this? So he's gone here, and he's gone in grass behind, got a piece of grass. He says, bring your float in. And I swung it round to this old fellow with glasses on. I'm thinking, what is he doing? Where's me dad? You know what it's like? This was the start of the dodgy days, you know. Thought he was going to offer me some puppies or sweets in a minute. Got this piece of grass, put it over my float, tried a couple to be honest, and then he got one that fit, put it over my float, went back out, could see it miles better.
Yeah.
And started catching better. And he says, oh, when you catch, I was swinging these little roaches. He says, when you catch them, stop trying to catch the fish. He says, get your line, grab your your line and swing them into your chest like that. So started doing. I thought, it's quite better. It's better. I can see me float and I can catch my fish. And he's only there for about 15 minutes. He's disappeared. My dad's come back and sat with me, and he's gone, you don't know who that was, do you? And I says, no, not got a tube of glue. Not got a clue. He says, right. He says, have you ever heard of Ivan Marks? I says, no, not got a clue. And then obviously, all the way home, he told me about Ivan Marks and this, that, and other. And little did I know, he'd got my dad's phone number, and he said to me, Dad, if he gets through to the next trial, let me know, and I'll come and have a day with him at Makins on Lake One. And I got through to the next trial after that first one, and me and my dad went down and had a day's fishing with Ivan. Taught me loads, but like he's the example. He was like the first ligger that I probably met.
So
you know
rough
I mean?
and ready.
Like Kevin, it's like Kevin Ashurst, isn't it? If his float's sticking out too far, he bites the end off it to make it a bit lower.
Exactly. Didn't Kevin used to have a tub of shot with like small to big, loads of mixed sizes, and he didn't even have his shot in tubs apparently. He just had one with everything in, and he'd say, "I've got 2 big uns and 3 little uns."
I was saying to someone the other day, you might be this guy now, Matt, but I don't think you ever were. Are you someone that spaces your shot when you make the rig on a board, and that is it for the day, or are you? I need to choose this around during the day. I can't. There's no set rules.
So I have different rigs tied, me, with set shot. So I do have a measured 40 centimetres set for a skimmer rig from my loop to my bull, but I will happily change it, like loads and loads. I'm not bothered about completely moving. People seem to be scared of moving shot online.
Yeah, no,
I've never ever had a problem in my whole life with moving shot.
No.
Like, don't bother me.
I'm always trying to fish how the fish want to feed, rather than this is my rig. Yeah, it's 6 inch.
Too precise now, isn't it?
It's just a bit too. I just hate the fact of fishing a match or going on a session and doing it in your head the night before.
Yeah,
it never works out that way. Never ever works out that way.
You know what? As well, I almost think what you've just said there kind of sums up how fishing's gone. Like everyone can buy a method or a hybrid.
I think it's very manufactured now. Isn't it?
They know to get these particular pellets and put them on in this particular way.
They know they need a 4-inch hook length. They know they need a size 12 up.
It's their fish. Everyone. Sometimes there must be matches, 50, 60 pegs, where 50 anglers are fishing exactly the same. So surely the anglers that are a bit liggy and do move a shot and do
that's where your edge is.
Length on a feeder, and surely that's an edge for the.
I think there's 3 people sat here who aren't afraid to move a shot about.
Exactly.
Yeah, maybe. I spoke to
put a bit of line on the bottom.
I'm gonna struggle to pronounce his name, but is it Petrik Solski? Petrik
Presmek.
Lad who won Golden Reel.
Golden Reel, right? Top.
Does well, doesn't he? Does well.
Yeah.
I'll give you a bit of a background. This is how good he is. Last year, probably about this time of year, maybe a bit earlier, in the qualifier for Feeder Masters, he drew the MPEG at Larford.
Smashed
you. He was always going to beat me, but I was the next one in.
Yeah.
He had £240. I think he got knocked back on his nets as well. I had about £80 because he just stopped the fish coming by. Fed a mountain of bait, really good. Then every match I've seen him fish, he fishes little method feeder, fishes it short, catches load of fish. And every time I speak to him, I say, "What are you doing?" And he always says, is it racist to do the accent? I don't think it is it?
No, of course it's not.
He always says, something different. You guys all fish the same. I fish something different. And that is what his thing is. Because obviously he hates the fact that everyone's fishing the same. Wow. So he used a sweet ground bait instead of a fish meal ground bait.
Did he really?
Yeah, he uses sweet and all stuff like that. He just wants to go back and just book the trend. That's how he sees it.
He does
Love
ever so
it.
well, doesn't he? All
Brilliant,
the
yeah.
time, does really
There's
well.
loads of guys like that, but you just got the balls to do it, haven't you?
Of course you have, and it's still a balancing act, isn't it? Because I think sometimes people they go too far, don't they? With certain
They do,
things.
Yeah, my dad's one of them. My dad's he wants to fly. He wants to try floating plums on a helicopter. Daft, ridiculous things. Because he thinks one day he's going to get there. One day he'll get there with his secret combination.
Yeah, my dad fishes in a little club on River Trent, right? And I've just got him going properly. Like, look, take more than half a pint of casters, you'll need it. And I've got him his bait, and I've got him a rod and a reel and a rig and that. And last year he started catching a few, really simple, like bait in a feeder, chuck it in with 3 maggots on. And he caught like £20 one match, come home. And I'm like, how did you fish? I said, there you go, brilliant, simple, innit? And he went, yeah. Think you'd catch them on me?
Yeah, no, the same thing, Matt. Yeah. Exactly the same.
My old man was obsessed with putting cat meat through a riddle and mixing it into his paste, making cat meat. He says, I can't use cat meat, but I can use this. Dad.
Trouble way around it, isn't it?
Yeah. What's the problem?
Yeah, what's the problem with that? The problem. Yeah, the amount of contraptions my dad's come up with and showed me. And
is he a red ground bait for bream, man?
He's a red ground bait everywhere, man.
Love it. Red Magic, that was the one.
Tony Woods, do you remember that, Matt? Did you go on the national when we was on the Huntsville and that?
Yeah.
And we sat and practiced, didn't we? And Tony Woods came along with a bag of Red Magic and smashed us all up.
Yeah. And didn't we all take some for the actual?
Yeah, for the actual national.
What happened to red ground bait?
Weird, isn't it? The only time I use red now is for bleaking. Yeah, bleaking in coloured water. But I remember as a kid going to Whiteacres, only 8 or 9 with my family. Red silly bait, that's what we used to use.
That was good ground bait, silly bait, wasn't it?
Brilliant, wasn't it?
Beautiful stuff.
Even used to be in a good bag, didn't it? Like a good solid
bag. Oil, yeah.
Yeah, that bag was beautiful, wasn't it? The original rubbery bag, that rubbery feel to that bag.
Remember silly pellets as well?
What happened to silly pellets? Why isn't anyone doing a version of silly pellets, a hookable feed pellet?
Everything pellet.
Everything, they were. No soaking.
They were really oily as well, weren't they? You used to get a good slick off them when you fired them in.
Aye. Catch some fish with them now, you would.
Yeah, you would. Big time.
So go on, Rob.
I was just going to say, what's the plans when you get out there, mate? Is it match fishing? I don't think we're match fishing, do you?
I honestly, I can't see it. I'd love to say that we go and fish some matches, but then I think, look at the matches that we would be fishing. Probably commercials, local. Not for me. There's too many nice things to go and do pleasure fishing than just fish a small match on a commercial. So I think for me, River Trent's 25 minutes away. Probably go on there. I might even go and do a bit of like big carp or tench fishing at a few at local reservoirs. And
we're on it, aren't we?
That's my plan.
Is it?
That's the plan. Yeah. If I can, I don't want to go somewhere. I've got someone trying to source me a billionaire bed chair as we speak. I've got the rods. I've got the reels. I'm thinking if I can find a nice, quiet reservoir where no one's going to bother me. I don't want people. There's one near me, Saddington Reservoir.
Yeah.
But there's only a couple of areas where you can fish for carp here, and usually there's always somebody on them. And also, one of those pegs is a lay-by behind it where quite often a group of lads will come by, pull up, smoke the dope, take a bed, or whatever they do. And I don't want to be fishing at night.
I thought you were looking for like a bonus little doglet to pull up behind you.
I thought the bivvy was just a cover story.
Those days have gone. I'm a family man now, so I can't do any of stuff like that. So I'm looking for a venue that I can go to and have maybe a low stock of carp. Because obviously in a match we can catch carp for usually we capture carp for fun. I don't want it to be easy. I want to work and try and maybe catch a couple of target fish or something like that.
How big do they go, Rob?
In that Saddington, I think there's £30 in there, but I want to go somewhere where even if you caught a double figure fish, it's probably only a 50 in the lake, that sort of thing.
Brilliant.
I want to do that. I'd like to do that sort of thing. A bit like you with your tench or your barbelling.
Yeah.
Sit outside and enjoy it a little bit.
Depends when we get out, doesn't it, really? Because I'm obviously there might even be a travel limit, mightn't there? We don't know yet. So I'm thinking River Nene.
That's lovely near you, Joe.
Yeah, I'll try and catch some chub or something like that. Maybe
Yeah.
a bit of a lobworm, flick a lobworm around, or a bit of bread or something. And then obviously Hollowell Reservoir if I can get there as well. That'd be nice.
Hollowell would be perfect for me, but just the ticket's a bit too expensive. So I know I'll only be doing it for a month and a half.
Yeah.
So I think the ticket's £250 for a night ticket. So it's a bit too much, that is, for what I want to do. Yeah. So that's the perfect situation.
But I can see me on that River Nene.
Mm.
Gin clear as well, so you learn a lot, don't you?
You caught a carp out of that when we were at match fishing, didn't you?
Yeah, free lining bread, yeah.
Lovely.
What have you got near you, Matt, to do that sort of thing then? Have you got out?
I've got, I'll tell you what I've been doing, I've been tying in my daily exercise with feeding some carp on canal. So back of my house here, you can walk over a field, it's about half a mile, and you walk downhill to Chesterfield Canal.
Yeah.
And if you walk up to the right from there, you basically come to the dead end of the canal where it used to go into an old tunnel, and there's like a waterfall comes in, bit of a boat turning, loads of weed. And I've always fished. I used to fish matches on there on a Saturday when I was a kid. We used to win them with like £2.11 a perch and tommy rods. But there's always been a few carp in there, not massive, like 10 to low 20 pounds. But I've only ever seen like a dozen. And I thought, when we got on lockdown, I thought I'm going to use some of my old pellets up, go and throw them in. So I started doing it, did it for 2 weeks, and fed 2 different spots. One of them just got a load of bream and chub in it, churning it up.
I was going to say, there's a loads of bream in there.
Oh, loads. But that's the one where there's the turning bait. It's a bit more coloured, it's a bit wider. But there's loads of bream and chub on. They weren't there. They were obviously spread out.
Yeah. You've drew them in with your bait.
Yeah, exactly that. And then further up though, it's gin clear. It's only about 6 metres wide, really weedy. And I've been baiting some spots there in between the weed. And like I said, I thought there were about a dozen carp, but I've seen loads more since I've been baiting. And they've all, over that half-mile length, they're all within like 30 yards of my spot now.
That'd do me. That sort of thing would do me. I just wouldn't want to night fish an area like that. But obviously setting up for the day.
Yeah,
one fish, 2 fish in a day. Beautiful.
Yeah. Oh, it's lovely.
Good condition. That'd do me.
Going, so I did it for 2 weeks, and then my missus got corona, so I had to isolate for 14 days.
Did you?
Yeah.
Talk us through that then, before we carry on about fishing. Talk us through that. What's the crack with that? What happened?
Oh, mate, she played on it big time.
Right.
Honestly, she had me running about after her, making hot water bottles and all sorts.
Right.
No, she works at doctors on reception, our lass, so she's obviously still has to deal with people. Few of them picked it up, kind of place you're going to get it. And she got sent home one day just with the temperature, nothing else.
Was she tested?
Well, then, she got sent home because she got a temperature. Day after doctor come to our house, it was like, you know in E.T., there's that scene where they've got like a spacesuit on and they're walking down that big tunnel. He pulled up Dr. Reed outside our house. I thought it were an alien. Come down in this big spacesuit, tested her in garden, made a choke on this black tester stick. Got corona. And she'd literally only got a temperature. Then about a day later, she went knackered, like she didn't get out of bed. I thought she'd just been lazy. Then she lost her sense of smell and taste completely. Didn't believe her about that. So I got a big chunk of raw ginger, peeled it, because I was convinced that she hadn't lost it, and shoved it in her mouth, and she couldn't taste it. She was chewing a big piece of raw ginger.
Whoa.
Didn't even bat an eyelid, and normally she don't like spice her own. But she was just drained for like 5 days, tired, bit of headache.
So like a flu sort of symptom?
Yeah, not even that bad, Rob. Like out of breath a bit when she ran upstairs. But I spoke to the doctor, and it's worth, it sort of gave me a bit of confidence being my age and hearing what he said. He said, honestly, he says, this is the problem. You younger generations and fitter people, you can have so tiny symptoms that it won't stop you doing things, but you are still carrying it and passing it on. And I suddenly thought, well, that is a massive problem, because it ain't been funny. Knowing how us lot are, and we're outside a lot, and we're quite resilient to bugs and colds, we probably would just crack on with it. and we'd just be super spreaders. So,
yeah, especially as anglers as well, because obviously there's a group of younger anglers, I say, under 40 maybe, if we're saying that's young. But then you go and mix with people who are up to sort of like 80 years of age. And obviously we just can't.
Tackle shop on the bank.
It's a problem, isn't it?
Yeah.
We did the Preston lock-in the other night.
Yeah.
The competition winner, Luke Seabrook, he just had it, and he just recovered about 2 weeks ago.
Yeah.
Him and his lad both had it, and he said pretty similar to what described it as Meg. He had a cough though. He said it was like couldn't get his breath. You know, going upstairs was a challenge and all that sort of stuff. But he says he's fine now. But it was a real he says it was knocked him for 6. He said, and he was only 31. I think he was 31. So
you can
imagine, doesn't it?
Imagine that in a 80-year-old person, or even a 60-year-old person,
or someone who's
got asthma, or
anyway.
Yeah, exactly. It doesn't sound very nice, but she was like 5 days out of it, completely recovered, back to work after like 8 or 9.
Did you still make a couple of dinner?
Did and all, damn right. And over up. No, I didn't really.
I'll tell you what I'm impressed with, Matt. You've got this little hair flick down.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It's almost like
it's straight in one side, isn't it?
Yeah.
Look, just yeah. I'm gonna change it. I'm gonna put my pink one on.
Change it.
One of my favourites. Because anyone who knows me knows I'm into emails a bit, so I thought I'd get myself an email with.
Everyone's into
an email.
Everyone's got a secret email crush, haven't they?
Yeah.
Everybody.
You look like her out of Trolls.
You reckon?
What, pop hair?
I like that one, mate. Look at that.
I've got the doll somewhere.
Yeah.
Well, I think that's nice. I think they're all nice, Matt. I think they're all nice.
Good. This is my favourite one, to be honest.
Beautiful.
It just brings out your personality, doesn't it?
You were feeding these carp?
Yeah, so then she's got corona. So I have to stay in for 14 days then, even though I ain't got it.
So you can't even go for a walk, can you?
Can't even go for a walk. Furthest I went, garden.
Yeah.
So they've not been fed. So then I've started going back down and feeding him again now. And there's even more because we've had all that hot weather. And I've been doing it for about a week and a half again now. Just walk down, throw some pellets and ground bait and stuff in as I pass. And there's all sorts appeared. Like I've seen some tench on my spot that I've never seen there. I've seen 2 chub. They're the same 2. I've started going down in the morning now because I thought I don't want you to get used to eating at the same time. So I vary it up now.
Oh, very crafty.
Sometimes I go early morning, sometimes dinner, sometimes evening. There's 2 chub appeared in the waterfall spot. They must be £5, so I'm going to have him like as soon as I can get out.
So what's the plan then? Go down with like stepped up float gear and fish for them, or like put a rod in and...
I'm fancying, I'll send you some pictures of it, because it's all weed with like holes in it. But I'm fancying like John Wilson style tackle, so like, you know, like a barbel rod kind of thing. Think like
maybe a peacock quill.
And a swan shot. Imagine, with like 2 or 3 pieces of corn.
You see an odd bubble pop up next to your float. Oh.
Yes. So I'm fancying a bit of that. Like, I think the key will be just going down right time of day, like either early morning or late night.
I remember a guy who used to fish canals for carp quite a few years ago, but he used to fish pole rig on a carp rod.
Right.
Because obviously when they come in, they don't really pick up your leads and your big hooks. They don't really want to pick them up. But he used to fish sweet corn. He used to do what you do, put a little bit of bait in, bait some spots, then he'd go down with his pole rig. He was a top guy catch that. I think his name's Hofgardner.
Oh yeah, is it Ben Hofgardner? Is it?
No, it was his dad.
Dad, was it?
Terry Hofgardner, something like that. It was his dad who used to do it, and he used to fish really old school style. And he used to be the daddy at that. He used to catch loads of fish, like canal carp. Because look, you said the other day, didn't you, Joe? You've tried catching the carp out of that river on proper.
Yeah, and never even. They just swam away. That one morning I did have them properly on me, and they're like this, and they're right under my rod tip, and you just know that they know what. Even them fish that don't ever get fished for, they know it's not right.
Proper tailing.
And you've got size 6 on.
In a commercial places like Larford, when they're all round, there's tails everywhere, and you think I've got to get a bite now, and you never get a bite.
Thing is that river that I fish, like Matt knows, it is literally tap clear, isn't it? Like you can see everything. Yeah, you can see everything, and. But this is what I want to go and do, because I saw a chub in. Can you remember the bit where the waterfall is, Matt? Can you remember that?
That's where you caught a chub that day we went.
Yeah, I caught a chub there, didn't I?
Yeah.
Well, I've seen a chub in that whirlpool there that is the biggest fish I've ever seen in water, you know, like relative to the species. And I didn't have any kit with me, and I was throwing pellets at it, and he's just taking every single one. Went back the next day with my rod, nowhere to be seen. Just like that.
It's really weird that, right? Because on Saturday it was warm, wasn't it? So I went for a walk the other way down canal with our lass. We got to a bridge and bought a loaf of bread off the bridge because she'd seen some ducklings and she wanted to feed them. So on the way back, we're throwing this bread in and that, and I'm looking at the chub swimming about. Every time she threw some bread in, right, the chub had come underneath it, and while we were stood anywhere near, they'd just circle around it like sharks. They weren't scared. They were like this far below surface, and they just swim around it, and an odd one might come up and stop and then swim away, but never at a thing. You'd turn, walk 20 yards down canal, and water were erupting where you'd just been.
Crafty.
It's just chub.
They're old fish, they are, Matt.
Yeah.
They're old fish.
How old would them fish be?
I don't know. They
got stocked in there.
They're like.
They've always been in there, haven't they?
£5.
Like that chub I saw in that whirlpool. Like, I've never seen a massive chub on the bank. I've seen a £5, but it was it's £5-6, maybe even bigger. Who knows? How old is that?
What do you reckon? How long do they live for?
I've not a clue.
I was watching a video the other day about someone specimen eel fishing, and he reckons like a £5 could be 60 years old, and you think,
yeah,
they reckon 10 years per pound, don't they, for an eel?
Crazy.
Wow.
Crazy.
I'd like to catch a big eel, but I just don't know where to start. That's the problem with eels, isn't it? You don't know where to start.
No. I know.
They're in everywhere, but they're in nowhere as well. Isn't it? It's like
here's another one, Matt, that might scupper your canal. Do you think we'll be allowed to fish sort of public areas?
I don't know, mate. I keep sort of second guessing if we can fish, where we can fish. And I think we've got to be dead careful. Like, I spoke to Tom the other day, and he says, surely match fishing's better because you can plan people's time, you can plan their arrival, you can plan the draw, you can plan them being X distance apart at the weigh-in. And I thought, yeah, but deep down, I said to him, I know what I'm like and what Joe's like and what you're like. And if I see you and Joe in a morning at a match,
you're going to have a chat, don't you?
I know I can't stand 2 meters away. Like, people will break them rules. In my opinion, match fishermen are nightmares for, hey up mate, how's it going, checking hands. Do you know what I mean? And for the nation of match anglers to abide to them rules, I just think it's almost impossible. I really do.
I don't think it's just that. I think there's a bit of, we need to be seen to do the right thing. So although it might not be a problem to go and see your mates, it might not be a problem, you know, you get away with it. But if we're putting a proposal to the government, we need to try and see it through their eyes almost. If we said to them, by the way, we're going to have some matches and there might be 50, 60 blokes all together in a car park, drawing the pegs, they'd just go, no. And that might just stop fishing totally if you added that to the guideline.
Yeah.
The guidelines that they're obviously proposing are sort of on the safe side, just to get us back on the bank.
Yeah.
I'd take it, me. I'd take some pleasure fishing at the minute. I can't wait.
And me, I'd probably quite enjoy it, you know. Probably quite enjoy it doing a bit. Like you said, though, like the opposite end of scale is pleasure fishing on public places. You can imagine, like, that canal at the back of my house, there's a dozen little villages along it, all within half a mile, and you allow fishing. Every family, you allow fishing and cycling, and every family out of them 12 villages is going to be on that canal all weekend. And it's like another one's breaking rules.
Tricky, it's real tricky, isn't it?
Yeah. As soon as they see you fishing, they're going to think, well, they're going fishing, I can do this.
Here's one for you then, Matt.
When the open B&Q.
What we chatted about the other day, someone said on comment the other day, the problem is people will be going in the loft, getting the tackle out and going fishing for the first time in years. And we're like, what's the problem? The more people fishing,
that's what we want to happen, isn't it?
Do you think we'll see a fishing spike after this?
Yeah, I'd like to think so. I think there's going to be a little balance for me, right? If it goes on too long, certain older people, certain family people will drop out of it because they will be out of the habit. Yeah. So, like, my dad now hasn't been fishing since October last year, right? He would normally be starting June 16th. If his club can't fish their matches on the river, until September. He won't run it. And I know my dad, who normally goes fishing June 16th, won't go fishing this year. And I think he's a good example. There's a lot of people like that. Mm. But by the same token, if they allow pleasure fishing, I reckon our next door neighbour, who's got a young grandson, would love to get him a little starter kit and a whip and go and take him fishing for a weekend. So we'll get some new blood coming in.
It's funny because my neighbour, I was doing my garden the other week, and he poked his head over the thing. And he said, "You ain't got any rods, Joe, have you?" He's like, "I haven't been fishing for years." And I'm like, "Yeah, I have actually. I did have, and I had 2 rods, and I gave him. He says, "As soon as we get out, I'm going." And he's been fish for 20 years, so it's like just shows you, doesn't it?
Yeah, that's exactly what you want. I think the people that are usually popping off to a football match at the weekend, or they're going out with the mates down the pub, or fishing will be their thing.
Well, he's lost his job because obviously he's a builder and he can't get on the sites at the minute, self-employed. And he says, obviously, I'm looking for a few cheap ways to get out. Yeah. And he says, what better way? He says, I can go on the river or whatever. And yeah, fair play.
Perfect.
Good on him.
Hopefully it will bring a bit of new young blood and maybe like your neighbour.
Let's hope so. Bit of good news that'd be, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Matt, talk to me about Fishing All-Stars and them shows. Yeah. Obviously, it looks like you love it when you go on them trips. It also looks like, because my not my youngest lad, my 7-year-old says,
yeah,
Rooney always loses the fish every time he hooks it, or never gets a bite. He always says, "Oh, Rooney's going to blank every time." But every single one of them looks a brilliant trip.
It's really good. It's really good. I haven't done it for long, mate. I've only done it one summer, really. But it's a right laugh. It's not as... So I think people think on that kind of thing, you just go to a nice place, you get to fish and cameras are there. It ain't like that.
It's not like that.
It's basically a film set. So, for example, Dorset Stour. Right, lads, we'll get
This is what I was going to ask you. I was going to ask you how it all works. Do you go back and do the cutaways? Do you catch some fish?
Bit of both. So, like, Dorset Stour for me were a perfect example because we pulled up, iconic bit of river. It's a gorgeous day. Stood on this bridge at 5 o'clock in the morning, getting ready to go. There's chub and barbel everywhere, and I'm like, right, little intro, and off we go. 10 o'clock that morning, we're still doing intro. 4 hours later, drone shots, cutaways, interviews, and then all of a sudden it's dinner time, and you're fishing. And it's the hottest part of the day. All them millions of chub and barbel are nowhere to be seen. And then it gets to sort of 6, 7 o'clock, and it's like, we'll nail a few now. There's an odd one coming out at streamer read. Right, lads, 10 minutes left. And it's like, oh.
Because they've not got any light, or because the crew has to go, or what?
Yeah, and you can only have cameramen working for like 12-hour shifts, and legally they've got to have a break.
So, the equipment, obviously the equipment must be top dollar stuff.
Yeah.
All the camera stuff. Are they hiring that, or are they hiring a cameraman, or how does it work?
We have a mixture. So we've got like a set of people in-house who can film, edit, and have camera kit, like TV standard stuff. And then to produce something like Monster Carp or Fishing All-Stars, you need more than just your in-house people. So we take them and drafting sound man, director, couple of extra camera people, a drone guy. There's a lot of people on like a general all-stars shoot. You've got 2 or 3 guests or presenters, a director, a sound man, and then each character will have 2 cameramen with him
the whole day.
And you've got a drone guy,
and you've got to catch the fish,
and you've got a runner who does like bringing batteries, changing batteries, charging batteries, bringing food and drink. So like, crazy, you imagine trying to catch a Dorset Stour 6-pound chub, middle of day, bright,
and all that's going on,
with a circus going on around you. It's not always that. So like, it looks mint, right? But when you're there, you think it's going to be amazing, and then at the end of the day, you're like, oh my god, no.
Yeah, I've looked at some of them and thought that is brilliant. When they got, I think the one with Rooney catching catfish on the law.
Yeah.
Well, he lost it, didn't he? He lost it. He lost it. But I think because he went back there and eventually caught one.
Yeah, that were it. It was Dino, wasn't it, who lost it when he was jigging?
Was it?
Yeah, he was.
You could see they were absolutely distraught because they were never going to get another chance.
Yeah.
They were absolutely distraught. And that sort of thing, I just thought that looks so good.
It's brilliant. It's brilliant. And like even me, I only did a few shows for one series, but like went wrasse fishing off Jurassic Coast in Dorset. It was brilliant. I'd never ever do that if it wasn't for that kind of thing. I'd probably never fish Dorset Stour, and I'd never go proper carp fishing, but I got to have a go at all that, and that's what's nice from my point of view. You get to do a few different things.
It's even like doing what we do, like on a day-to-day basis. Our little filming sessions, when it's one-on-one with somebody, people think you're just going fishing. The amount of time you're actually fishing is very small, isn't it?
It's against you, isn't it? It is definitely against you. If you want to make a good film now and do your filming right, even if you keep it simple, you have to take time out to get
do everything. Yeah. And Rob like does it himself now, and it's like even Rob, don't you? Spend more time filming than you do actually fishing, don't you?
Yeah, you don't fish very often. It's just a case of get a couple of fish, and obviously get the point across. And how often do you see when someone's filming a big bag of fish at the end of the day? Because obviously you just don't get the chance to put them together.
Exactly. That's it.
Yeah.
The best day filming I had was on the Tidal Trent practicing for the Feeder Masters match last year.
It
was a brilliant day's fishing.
Yeah.
I had probably 30 pound of like skimmers, roach, those pommies, those silver bream. Really good day, bite a chuck, and you could actually get a bit of filming across while you were fishing because you were feeder fishing. It was good, really good.
If we're allowed to travel, that is the first place I'm going fishing.
I know, you've got to wait till June 16th.
That might be when we go out there, mightn't it?
Yeah, it might be.
I tell you what, if you do go before June the 16th, you'll have it to yourself.
I definitely will have it to myself. Who knows? There's people on river now. I've seen them.
Yeah. It's true.
Yeah, they've had a break. What do you think about the close season? Because obviously we're having the unimposed close season now, not a self-imposed one. But
yeah.
And I'm not too sure whether it's the right thing to have now.
I don't know, mate. I've always had it, so I've never known any different. I haven't really got. Obviously, I'd like to fish a river all year round. Bit of a break, so there's a bit of a buzz for that first river match still, isn't there? But I'd look forward to going and fishing a river anyway, mate. So.
I can see how, because obviously there's a lot of anglers who just fish rivers, isn't there, or that natural venue circuit. Yeah. I can see how they must be feeling every single year.
Yeah. I think they should be open now. I really do.
Yeah,
I really do.
I was one of those that used to think, look, let's keep it.
Give the fish a break. It's not that.
Yeah, just everything. Give everyone a break. Give everything a break. Nature a break.
Problem is the winters are so wet now, aren't they? The fish don't get any pressure anyway, do they?
I'd love for each bit of natural water to be managed properly. So a gamekeeper or bailiff can say, there's no fishing this week, the fish are spawning. Or there's no fishing on that bank, there's some birds nesting. But that just doesn't happen, does it? They just haven't got that sort of regulations in place.
That'd be a lovely way to manage it, wouldn't it? Yeah. Proper professional, designated, like you said, gamekeepers.
It's like Evesham, isn't it, as a classic example. There's no shortage of fish in Evesham. It just the fish are hammered, aren't they?
Yeah.
3 times a week, proper matches. Be nice to give it, a bit of a.
I reckon.
Right.
If you put a net either end of Evesham and dragged it to middle, you'd be absolutely shocked as to what's in there.
Oh, it'd do your head in.
Yeah. Well, you can see it when you go on an evening match, can't you?
Yeah.
And if you go above peg 1, the new peg 1, up them boards and into that weir, there's millions of fish up there.
Rivers everywhere are full of fish, aren't they? Rivers everywhere.
Scary. I had something really interesting. I don't know if I've told Joe, but you'll like it, Rob. We went filming on Tidal Trent at Torksey last September. And it was normal, get there crack of dawn, and while we were getting set up and everything, just to get like morning mist shots and all that fancy faffing stuff. Because in filming, you get liggers and faffers as well.
Yeah, you need a faff, yeah.
So when we were getting there early, I just chucked a barbel rod out, just an heavy feeder rod, massive feeder full of halibut ground.
Is this where you caught your carp?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a 14mm wafter on hook, chucked it in, and as soon as you chucked it in till about 7:30, you got to buy every single chuck on a 14mm boilie wafter thing, like a great big thing, size 10 hook, 030 fluorocarbon. Wouldn't sit still with like pommies, big roach, skimmers, odd barbel, caught a carp. Got to about 7:45. and you just stop moving. You won't get a bite. And
As soon as the sun's come up.
every now and again, you chuck it out in the day, not get a bite, not get a bite, not get a bite. Got to about 6:30 at night when sun dips, chucked it in again, boom, boom, every chuck in.
Unreal, isn't it? Unreal.
Because
how many fish are there?
the thing is, on the tidal, you don't give it credit for how clear it is, do you? Because it comes up, it's a heavy flow and that. But when you actually look into what, it's gin clear, isn't it? A lot of the time.
Yeah, that's true, mate. Yeah.
Yeah. You think because it's big and it's powerful and that it's going to be coloured, and it just isn't.
No, not at all.
And the fish are used to that environment as well, so they're used to anything that's not quite right, or they know when they're being fished for. What
a venue! What a venue!
Yeah, it is a good venue. It's a good venue. Powerful venue. You feel like you're fishing the venue rather than just fishing for the fish.
If you can hit every bite on a single caster, you'll win every match.
Matt, if you can hit every bite on a single caster, you'll win every match. That's my motto for the trend. on the
True,
feed,
though, isn't it? You're like that, chuck it in. I missed it again.
What's the key, Rob?
I haven't found it yet. No
one knows.
Mess around with your hook sizes, and then you'll get a little run of fish, and then you drop down, and then you fires my brain.
You end up pellet waggler fishing on the feeder.
Yeah. Get a bite of chuck, wouldn't you? You could chuck out with maggots and not get a bite, and then you put casters on it to bite every single chuck.
What's that all about?
Crazy.
Even that day when I went on North Clifton last year and caught them bream, every one of them was on a single caster.
Really?
Put a ligging bait on, a bit of worm or something, nothing. Single caster, no.
It's mental, isn't it? But bream love joker and bloodworm and tiny little baits, don't they?
Tiny baits. I think you catch them a little bit. When we go lure fishing, I'll tell you what, we catch more big fish on tiny, and I'm talking the size of a maggot, that sort of size.
Wow.
We catch more big fish. But, my mate had a 20-pound pike out of the canal last time we went lure fishing. On a lure, on a lure that was like inch long.
Wow.
Catch the big fish on the tiniest lures. And I think it's once they get caught for a few times, the smaller and smaller baits work.
Catch a big carp on a 4mm pellet, don't you? And it's a tiny bait, really.
Well, what baits do they fish? What baits do they eat in the wild that's massive?
Nothing.
Don't really eat anything.
Lobworms, and that's about it.
Yeah.
Maybe an odd crayfish.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, big old crayfish.
So what are you doing this afternoon then, Matthew? Because I've got to go and carry on with building.
He's whacker plating, Matt.
Whacker plating,
I've got a meeting with the Guru gang. Every Friday afternoon at 4:00, we have a beer catch up.
Yeah.
Throughout the lockdown, when it gets to 4:00 on a Friday, we all get a beer and come and have a little video chat. And sometimes it gets to like 10:00, and me and Rimmer are still sat here with a beer. Can't figure out how
got a Stella on the go.
Who's
the first one off? Who's the first one out?
Normally Frankie, because he only has a cup of tea.
Is it?
Yeah, normally Frankie. What about you two? What you got planned? What you got planned this weekend?
Building.
Yeah.
Playing my patio.
Flipping heck.
I know. So I'll tell you what, Matt. Two kids
work.
As well. It's enough of your time taking up.
Have you been homeschooling then, both of you?
I've been trying.
Bit young for ours. We're potty training, which is hard enough. You did the first ever poo in the potty yesterday. It was like all our Christmases have come at once.
Brilliant, bless her.
Who's that? Amy?
Yeah, Amy did one. They were right log as well. It was about how the hell does that come out of such a little person?
Oh, don't.
It's almost like, I know it's a bit, I don't want to be a downer, but it's almost like now all the little novelties, like we go and have a beer sat on front garden and talk to people opposite, and they sit on their front garden, this young couple. We just have a drink on a Sunday night.
You'd never do that though, would you, normally?
No, but it's kind of like 5 weeks in and it wears off and everything's wearing off now. So I'm trying to find something else that's a bit...
That's what we've been chatting about with a couple of people now that we're itching to do something. We've done everything.
Yeah. Phones are
how many
quiet
times
now, aren't
can
they?
you,
Everything's
how many
quiet.
times can you look through your phone and it's the same stuff and there's nothing on your phone? There's nothing new being added anywhere. It's just really, really difficult.
Yeah.
I feel for anyone who's living in sort of a flat or a small house and
can you imagine?
They just feel a bit trapped.
Yeah.
I'd hate that.
Keep going, everyone.
You've got to keep talking to people, haven't you? Like, any minute I think, this is a bit crap, I just sort of drag myself to pick my phone up and ring someone else who I think might be struggling a bit, or I know that they live on their own, or something like that. I think that's quite a nice thing to try and do if you can.
It is.
Yeah.
Look after everyone, innit?
Yeah.
Look after everyone.
Damn right.
Right. Enjoy your chat.
Yeah.
Enjoy this chat with the Guru boys.
Thanks everyone for watching.
Thank you for having us on. If you fancy another catch up, let me know.
We'll do it. How many wigs you got left, Matt? We'll go through the whole repertoire of your wigs next time.
How many rigs?
Wigs.
I've got
Opens wardrobe.
this one.
Oh, that'd suit me, I think.
I've got 3 different.
That's a bit puby, isn't it? That's a bit of a pube wig, that one.
That's for like here.
Yeah.
I've got that one, then I've got big afro.
Oh, beautiful.
And then I've got.
Do you still use them ESP scissors for trimming your pubes, Matt?
No, I've gone all with them now, mate.
Right.
Got a proper shaver now.
Have you?
But I didn't really. First time I used it, I didn't realise you have to put a guard on. So like when you get it, you get the trimmer, and then you get like a set of covers for it that are different sizes. So I thought, I'll go short, get it down to skin.
Have you shaping it or not?
No, just everything off.
Just everything off, yeah.
Whole undercarriage. It's nice and fresh, innit?
Yeah, but is it not prickly when you get a day's growth on it?
Yeah, a bit longer than that for me. Like 3 days in, I feel like I've sprinkled some blood
stuff happening
down there.
Is this because you caught crabs? Did you have to get rid of them because you caught crabs?
Yeah. I thought I'm going to go for it, metal bare blade, and get it nice and thin. Flipping heck.
You cut yourself, have you?
Just a bit, yeah. Look like
I think on that bombshell, I think. Don't forget to subscribe, everyone.
See you later, boys. Have a good weekend.